Hi, we're here with Colin from our VAR 2004 Academy team. Colin's recently been selected for the U14 2004 Academy team for next year. He just got his commitment letter. Congratulations on that, Colin.
Thank you.
Our videographer couldn't make today, so we're going on in one camera. And just want to chat with Colin a little bit. And Colin, ready to go? Good with you?
Yep.
All right, so Colin, we're going to kind of talk about a few things. Looking
stop
back,
laughing.
that's all right. Looking back and looking forward. So when we look at what's got you to this point, can you tell me a little bit about what are you most proud of in terms of your career so far?
Well, for sure making the academy and winning state cup with the and junior state cup with the U12s last year.
Yeah.
It was a great thing to be a part of that team and have something to look forward to.
Cool. So, in terms of someone you look up to and someone that maybe mentored you along the way, or maybe a teammate, or even someone you watch on TV, a teacher, who would you think has been a good mentor for you, or who's someone that you look up to? And doesn't have to be soccer related, but can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure Messi, because he's not the strongest, but he's the smartest, and he's one of the best players in the world today. And that's where I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah, I mean, I think Messi is a great answer. What do you? I know you watch some YouTube clips and stuff. What do you think are some of Messi's attributes off the field? How do you think he carries himself?
He does fundraisers to help his like charities. He doesn't only think about himself. He thinks about other people and how to help them.
Right, you think he's a pretty good teammate too?
Yeah, when he was young, he wasn't the tallest, so he had to like find ways to get taller. He had to go on like some drug.
Yeah.
And then so he doesn't want other people to go through what he was going through, so he wants to help as much as he can, as much as possible.
Yeah, I agree. Also, what was he, 12 or 13 when he left all his friends and family, right? Went to Barcelona, and I mean that must took a lot of
Courage.
a lot of courage. That's a great word to describe it. So I think that's a great mentor. And what are some characteristics you think you have that are the same as Messi?
Well, smartness on the ball, being aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
Don't always look at one side of the field. There's two sides in the field. And like move the ball around. And if you have a shot, take it.
Right. And I also think there's a couple times where coach will come up to me from Vardar and say, hey, you know what I liked about Colin is that you guys scored and maybe won 6 or 7-0, but he celebrated every goal with his teammates as if it was his. And he thought that was a great sign of teamwork and leadership. So I think you do a great job on that. So that's a big kudos to you, and goes to show you that people notice. You know, they notice when you're a good leader. They notice when you're a good teammate.
Yeah.
And I think you are a very good teammate to your peers. So you've looking back, you've had some success. You've won some trophies. You've made the academy for this will be your second year in a row. What do you think your success comes down to? I mean, if you could tell a young player that's 7 years old, just starting to kick the ball around, I mean, what does it take to get to the level that you're at? What are some of the characteristics?
The extra work off the ball and off the field. You need to put in the extra work, do a couple miles, and try to help yourself by being the best player you can be.
So do you think that, and that's a great answer, do you think that you're putting in the extra work and that's been directly related to your success? Do you think it's something that is a requirement to be a successful soccer player?
For sure, if you don't do things off the field, it's not going to help you when you go back onto the field.
Right. What about time management? I mean, in terms of school, how do you do in school?
I'm an all-A-B student. I get my homework as soon as I can, and then when I have time, I don't sit around playing video games. I go outside, play a little soccer, and do some fitness.
No, that's great. So time management, I think, is important too as you get older, Colin. And as you're going into what grade are you going to now? Seventh grade?
Yep.
So, maybe the workload gets a little more at school, and your training will still be 3-4 days a week, so you'll really have to be on top of that time management. So I think those attributes that you have, that discipline, is going to go a long way. So we've kind of looked back in terms of looking forward, and what's in the future for Colin. what are some things you're really looking forward to in your soccer
Playing
career?
academy.
Right?
Like if you're not playing academy, if you don't play academy this year, you still have many years of playing. So if you don't make it one year, always keep on playing. And I'm really looking forward to playing with my teammates.
Yeah. And what about a little bit longer down the road? What are some things you're looking forward to, which kind of leads me into some of your goals long term for your career?
I want to play college. I want to go to college before I do any professional sports.
Right. So, what do you think are some things you can check off to make sure you're on that path? So, if you want to go to college, if we can work back from that, what are some things that you have to do away from soccer so you can go to college? In terms of like, okay, take the soccer part out of it. What are some things you need to do as a student athlete, if you will, or as an individual to make sure you go to college? What's it going to take?
Always paying attention in school, getting your work done on time. Never
Right.
wait for the last minute. When you have a chance to do your homework, you always do it.
Right. So do you think it would make sense if we said, all right, you know what, these are one of your goals? Do you think it would make sense for your coach or director in the club to maybe talk to you every semester about where you're at academically
Yeah, I think
and where you want to be?
Yeah, because sometimes you may have to take a break of soccer and focus on academically at school.
Right. So I think a nice measurable for that is, making sure your grades at a certain level. And, with colleges getting more and more difficult to get into and a lot of folks applying, to get straight A's is important, but to also develop that discipline as a student athlete. So I think it makes sense if we review your grades, every half semester and see where you're at, and then make sure that you're on the right path. Because I deal with a lot of folks who are in high school and seniors, and they're saying they want to get better at school, but they're a junior or senior, and they have a 2.5 or something. They don't have the time to make it up. So it's really important that you start off strong and kind of maintain that. So I think every semester you want to make sure that you're on those goals, because there does get to a point where it's a little bit late in the game. So you have some collegiate goals. What about the soccer aspect of things? What are some goals you have for the next few years? So, or even let's look at the next year. What's your goals going into the 17-18 season?
Making an academy again, playing against the top teams to make me better.
Yeah, so you've already made it. You've already got your commitment letter. So when you go into the season, what's your first game? I think is over Labor Day. Where do you want to be at? Talk to me a little bit about what you hope you're at, your position in the team, all that stuff.
Well, I want to work hard before the training so I get a starting position.
Okay, so you want to start?
Yeah.
You want to be a starter for the first match of the season? Okay. Now, how are you going to know if you're on a path to being a starter?
If I work hard and do things off the field, say like do a little fitness there and like some running.
Yeah. Could you ask your coach? Could you ask Coach Tony and say, Coach, just want to talk to you about how do you think I'm doing? What can I improve on? So maybe every few weeks or every week, let's say every week you go to your coach and you just say, Coach, I just want to know, is there stuff I can work on? I feel like I'm playing okay, or I feel like I'm not doing as well as I'd like to do. Whatever it is, maybe you ask your coach for a little bit of feedback, and then he can tell you, point you in the right direction. So maybe do that on a weekly basis.
Yep.
And see where he's at. Obviously, when you guys review the game films and that, you'll have a lot more feedback when it gets into the season. But as you're in preseason, it might be a good idea to say, Coach, just want to see where you think I'm at. And if he tells you the answer you want to hear, hey, you keep going in that direction. If he tells you the answer you don't want to hear, maybe you have to make some adjustments.
Yep.
Sound good?
Yep.
So I just want to talk to you and finish up here as we look forward in terms of, your priorities and things. Obviously, you have school, you have soccer. At some point, you'll have work. I'm guessing you're going to get out and work soon. Maybe not. And and family. I mean, what's important to you, Colin?
My family.
You're a good soccer player, but what's really what do you see as being really important to you being happy in life?
My family always comes first. If something come up with the family, I'd always go with my family before I go with soccer.
Yeah. And what about school and soccer? How do you prioritize those two?
If I'm not doing very well in school, I probably shouldn't be should I train maybe a little less.
Yeah. I think there's enough time in the day to do your soccer training. I do think school is an important vehicle to get to where you want to go, and it gives you a lot of options. So I think it's important that you understand that, like you said, family first. School is a good secondary one. I think soccer is a good tertiary one or third one. But if you manage those things properly, I think you can accomplish and be successful in all those areas. So, hey, I want to thank you for your time. We did a little bit looking forward, looking back. I have a better idea of where you're coming from, and I want to, thank you for 5 great years, or 6 great years, however long it was, and I think you're ready for the next challenge. And I wish you all the best. Thanks for taking the time today.
You're welcome.